The global fintech market is expected to hit $310 billion by 2022, from overseas payments and wealth management to loans and crowdfunding. The fintech revolution is edging ever closer. We've been looking at the future of fintech, finding out how technology is helping businesses and people to interact with the world.
Fintech can reduce poverty globally and can really bring economies to life.
Massive growth in the digital payments sector is driving this fourth revolution, from the corner shop using Scan and Go.
It was something I could have only dreamed of.
To those harnessing financial data to tackle climate change.
We only have an impact if we speak to millions of consumers. And who owns these consumers? Who owns the payment transaction, purchase transaction of these consumers? These are the banks.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to create uncertainty across the global economy, many fintechs are responding to new opportunities.
What we should not forget is that the sector was almost born out of the last financial crisis. And so fintech is known and is used to work in a crisis mode. And the nice thing now is that the fintech companies help other companies to survive the pandemic. And one way how they do that is by providing loans. And lots of those government loans are distributed via fintech lenders.
A rapid assessment of the impact of COVID on the sector found fintech was responding fast to the changes, but needed more support. There was an overall increase of 60% in digital payments, 78% reported online security as an increasing risk, and 90% said they'd benefit from further training to support their work on fintech under COVID. Studies give insight into the industry. Researchers often turn to FinTech Circle, a global platform of more than 130,000 fintech specialists.
You need large-scale data. You need to collect it quickly. You need to get your results out quickly so people can respond quickly. COVID's happening now, right? And so it's working with FinTech Circle, for example, that we're able to reach out to their network, very, very valuable in being able to support that data collection.
COVID-19 has seen a growth in contactless transactions, and it's not just at the big supermarkets. At this small convenience store, customers can use GISP, a contactless shopping app offering online delivery, click and collect to Scan and Go technology.
It was something I could have only dreamed of. As far as Scan and Goes goes, I think that's the difference maker for us, because that's given a small independent store like mine the opportunity to have that technology available.
Stuart Reddish represents more than 15,000 independent retailers.
What we liked about GISP is the ease of the app. We also like the fact that the cost of the app, if I'm truthful, it's all about cost for the retail, it's all about margins.
In the restaurant sector, there's a huge demand for in-app ordering. GISP is improving service and marketing.
With the app, we have already as many followers after just 2-3 months as we have had for Facebook followers after 5.5 years.
Last year in the UK, over 14 billion payments were made by debit or credit card. But many businesses don't know anything about the preferences of their customers until the point of payment. Combining loyalty and payment systems gives a deeper insight. The fashion and homeware retailer Matalan has a 12 million member loyalty scheme that has been fully digitalised by trust payments. Customers are able to both shop on the app but also engage with loyalty rewards, revealing their buying habits.
More data that we get, the more we can pass back around the funnel to drive more payments. And again, it's kind of an ever-flowing cycle. So as we build up that 360-degree view of the customer, every data set that fuels into that will help drive more behaviour and more personalisation for the customer.
Trust Payments helps merchants to translate that data so they can focus on sales and marketing.
One of our objectives is to be able to, rather than make our customers react, give them data points that they can use to proactively act. So we can say, hey, here's 3 to 5 things that really will impact your business.
In the financial sector, technology can make a complex process easier and more transparent. Syndicate lending is finance offered by a group of lenders who work together to provide funds to a single borrower. Small London-based fintech, HUBX, has been working closely with Finastra, one of the largest fintechs in the world. By combining front office with back office technology, for the first time it is possible to execute syndicated loans digitally end to end.
We see a real opportunity to connect every part of a capital raise, front to back, to help these professionals better understand data, better execute their deals, and better engage with all the stakeholders involved in the deal.
And the market is huge. Over $4.5 trillion is executed syndicated lending every year. Finastra's product Fusion Loan IQ processes over 70% of the world's deals, allowing hundreds of banks to collaborate more fluidly. Technology is also helping the global insurance industry to see the bigger picture. The sector is facing tighter regulatory reporting and pressure to keep costs down. It's led to a push into insurance technology and automated trusted data.
The idea is to move businesses from the old world of spreadsheets to the new world of accurate data.
Findsys is a global business offering software that optimises the finance and accounting processes of insurance and broker businesses. They helped Jason Townshend's company replace its complex spreadsheets in favour of one source of data shared by the finance and accounting teams.
Data is everything. Data nowadays is sort of driving all of our strategic direction. Rather than sort of spend most of our time sort of collating data, we're now actually spending more time analysing that data because we're getting it sort of quicker and easier.
FinTech will play a huge part in helping to achieve the UN's Sustainable Development Goals of the Paris Agreement. Environmental, social and governance considerations have moved from a niche investment consideration to centre stage. With €50 billion invested in European sustainable funds and growing.
There's enormous potential for artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech applications generally, and environmental, social and corporate governance information when and where information gathering of big unstructured data is concerned. Ultimately, AI can help to break down information barriers and biases. It can actually look at modernizing information architectures for really business-ready and real-time ESG and other data solutions.
A new technology using payment data can inform consumers how their purchases, such as what they eat, where they holiday, affect the planet.
We only have an impact if we speak to millions of consumers. And who owns these consumers? Who owns the payment transaction, purchase transaction of these consumers? These are the banks. So we offer our software to the banks so they can implement it and, influence millions of consumers.
The technology is part of a set standard for the banking industry established by the Organisation for Sustainable Consumption.
What we believe in is using this payment data in helping consumers to understand what is their individual impact on the society. And therefore, we thought we need a standard, an industry-wide standard, to actually make sure that all banks and industry have the same underlying methodology and the same values.
The open nature of fintech means it can benefit more people. Fintech lending platform Lenderwise has created a service where lenders can earn interest from the global telephone market. It works with institutional investors, but wants to be more inclusive.
Tomorrow, we intend to lower the entry level and to allow consumers to have a new democratized lending opportunity to convert what they're already paying for, their phone bill, from a cost center into a profit center. Likewise, to convert their bank savings account from a zero interest rate to an interest-generating account.
Technology is escalating at a pace never seen before in our history. DLA Piper is one of the world's largest law firms. It has developed its own technology, such as a regulatory app, and helps clients to embrace this fast-paced digital world.
We're really working with our clients to get to know their business, their sector, and also the technology drivers that they're using to improve their business, which we're also learning from.
Revolut is an electronic money institution which provides a full suite of banking services to its customers. It's completely app-based and, according to Deloitte, is the fastest growing fintech company in Europe.
Working with DLA, we've designed a product that allows our customers to get exposure to the price of cryptocurrency, but without us holding it on our books, and so with us being able to minimise that exposure to our banking partners.
Fintech makes managing money easier, quicker and simpler. It has the power to transform businesses and people's lives.
The power to transform businesses and lives. A really insightful look there into the world of fintech. Many thanks for watching our showcase special. I'm Sharon Thomas, and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined now by Susanne Chishti, who's the CEO of FinTech Circle, and by Elizabeth Fisher-Robbins, who's the head of industry news for ITN Productions. Susanne, if I can turn to you first, tell us a little bit about your partnership with ITN Productions, first of all.
FinTech Circle has a wonderful partnership with ITN Productions, and ITN is 65 years old, so has a fantastic brand globally, and we were looking for the right partner to tell very complicated fintech themes but make them understandable and understood by a global audience. And the fintech sector has evolved so much over the last few years, and we are featuring leading financial institutions such as Moody's, leading law firms such as DLA Piper, and fantastic fintech startups and scale-ups such as Lenderwise and HUBX in this film about the future of fintech.
What are you hoping to achieve from this partnership?
The goal of our partnership is to really work together to visualize the content. We all know that a picture says more than 1,000 words. And this film about fintech will help us to make sure that the fintech sector can go mainstream and that the whole world will understand the benefits which the fintech companies bring to us as consumers, but also to corporate clients in the fintech space.
There's so much good work going on in this sector. How can this film really help?
The film shines a light on the global fintech entrepreneurs who provide innovative solutions, innovative new products and services which benefit both individual and corporate customers. Equally, we also portray leading financial institutions and service providers and how they work and collaborate with fintech companies. So what I think comes out very well in this Future of Fintech film is that the world of fintech is an ecosystem, and the people who will win will be those ones who are able to collaborate, working together across large and small fintech companies, across leading financial institutions and service providers to really benefit our global ecosystem and benefit both clients, individual and corporate clients.
How does this sort of content really help to support what FinTech Circle does?
FinTech Circle is a global fintech network with more than 130,000 people globally, and we invest in fintech startups, we write fintech books, we write about fintech trends, and we work together with large financial institutions and the best fintech startups and scale-ups. And by showcasing what the fintech sector does in a very visually attractive format, we can reach a global audience and helping to explain that fintech goes mainstream.
What do you see now as the future of fintech?
The future of fintech is global. It makes financial services more accessible. It also helps companies to turn big data into meaningful data by using technologies such as big data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning. And what we also know is that fintech allows to decrease poverty globally. It can have an impact on democracies, an impact on gender equality, and therefore it even influences the way we use money. It's about e-money, about cryptocurrencies, and now central banks globally are investigating if they should launch their own central bank digital money. So the future of fintech is very exciting, and we are delighted to be working with ITN Productions to create the first film about the future of our exciting industry, really showcasing the best fintech companies, the best financial institutions globally who are playing a key role in making the future better for all of us.
Making the future better for all of us. Susanne, many thanks. Elizabeth, you're the head of industry news for ITN Productions. Tell us a little bit about the relationship with FinTech Circle.
Well, fintech is a topic that I've always wanted to explore. It's something that's featured in a lot of our programming in industry news, but I've never once taken it and delved completely into it as a topic on its own. So when I was back from maternity leave, just in January, looking at the production slate and thinking, what can we do that's different? How can I really make a splash on my return? And it's fintech that stood out to me when I returned.
What do you set out to achieve through this partnership?
With all our programming in industry news, we know that we're brilliant at production, but we don't actually know the ins and outs of every single topic in the whole world. So we want to partner with leading bodies that know exactly what they're talking about, and that's where we approached FinTech Circle and Susanne, who's such an inspiring and wonderful character. From the partnership, we together have scoped out what we want to achieve from the programme, and that's definitely to raise awareness of what's going on in the world, bring a bit of greater understanding actually as well to what it actually is. FinTech, it's quite a new word, and show some of the amazing innovations that are going on up and down the country and in fact all over the world. Little did we know, though, when we first embarked on this partnership, that right round the corner, this pandemic was going to completely rock our economy and rock our creative industry as well.
You've produced this programme during the pandemic. What sort of challenges did the filming, the editing, the whole production process face?
I think if you look at the output, you might not necessarily notice too much of a difference, but from behind the scenes, it has absolutely changed the way that we think, the way that we make, and the way that we do everything in production. So whether this is now thinking about that we can't travel internationally to cover our stories, we can't even travel together to get to our film shoots, and then we can't work together when we get back into, say, post-production in the edit suite. So what would have been normally a very creative and collaborative process, now we're all working quite siloed. But that doesn't mean that we haven't achieved amazing results, and I hope you'd agree from having seen the showcase here today as well, that what we're outputting is still creative, it's still amazing quality, and still really, really interesting work.
Why are films like this so important?
Well, storytelling is at the heart of everything that we do at ITN. It's responsible and accurate journalism, of course, but that's really important right now because you need to get your messages to your customers and to your audiences who you can't actually see face to face anymore. So whether we're just communicating on Teams or Zoom, actually our programming and the films that we make can help you take your messages around the world when you're really just stuck at home.
How powerful and how significant is the relationship between ITN Productions and the associations?
Well, what we're seeing is the power of associations is getting stronger and stronger. And especially at the moment, businesses and organisations are really looking for someone to spearhead their industry, get them a seat at the table, especially when big policy decisions are being made at government level. So we think that associations with their incredible, well, especially FinTech Circle, with their incredible international network, plus allowing the programme to be shown at places like FinTech Connect, really adds to the power of the programme and make sure that we can build a really big audience for this content. I mean, there's no point making it if no one sees it. Thank you to everyone who's made this production a huge success. To FinTech Circle for incredible partnership and expertise. To FinTech Connect for such a brilliant platform and helping us build such a huge audience. And of course, to all of our sponsors and contributors.
Elizabeth, many thanks, and thank you so much to everyone involved in making this special showcase for FinTech Circle and for ITN Productions. Many thanks to you too for watching. Everything that you've seen here today is now available on the FinTech Circle website, and you can also watch it at the FinTech conference this week.